out there, Internet. We are the Renegades, and this is the closest we're ever going to get to being political. So, you might have heard that there was a thing that happened with an election, and it was something. What? I don't know. But Stephen Colbert, previously the host of the Colbert Report, actually, and now host of the Late Show, or is it Late Show? Late
Yeah,
night?
It's the Late Show.
Okay, I can't remember.
The Late Show is
James Corbin.
Yeah.
Corden. Anyway, so he did a special on Showtime covering the election. And he made some closing remarks as the special was to end. And I think they're worth hearing.
We shall see.
Micah might not necessarily agree with all of these. But let's just give it a watch.
All right.
That's not it. Do the other thing.
I don't think I could sit down right now. We still don't know, right? And we don't have any idea when it's going to be called. Okay, is there any polls? I mean, is it literally going to come down like Alaska and Hawaii and stuff like that? Because we never wait for those people. We don't know. We love them, but, they're too far out west. Now, I think we can agree that this has been an absolutely exhausting, bruising election for everyone.
That's right.
And it has come to an ending that I did not imagine. We all now feel the way Rudy Giuliani looks. Seeing this election, seeing this election, people all around the world. I mean, she's going off to Portugal. Everybody's saying, has America lost its mind? And the answer is evidently, back off, buddy. We got 300 million guns, and we're kind of stressed right now. By every
Pretty
metric,
accurate.
I mean, we are more divided than ever as a nation. Do we have
See,
this
they
graphic
say
from
that
earlier
every
before? According to
presidential
Pew
election,
Research
though.
Center, more
They've
than
said
4
that
in
since
10
Lincoln
voters
was in
say
here.
The other party's policies are so misguided they pose a threat to the nation. But you know what? Everybody feels that way. And not only that, more than half of Democrats say the Republican Party makes them afraid. While 49% of, do I have this right? Is it 49% of Republicans say the same thing about the Democratic Party?
Now they're
both
talking about
sides
the
are
actual
terrified
politicians?
Of the other side.
I think
about each other?
people who
And I
identify
think that's why
as
the voting
Democrats
booth
and
has a
Republicans.
curtain, so you have someplace to hide after the election's over. So how did our politics get so poisonous? I think it's because we overdosed, especially this year. We drank too much of the poison. You take a little bit of it so you can hate the other side. And it tastes kind of good. And you like how it feels. And there's a gentle high to the condemnation, right? And you know you're right, right? You know you're right. When I was a kid, we didn't think about politics this much. A lot, but not this much. I grew up in Watergate. That was my first president was Nixon.
Wow.
I'd come home from school. Couldn't watch the Beverly Hillbillies because there was Senator Sam Ervin with big eyebrows talking about crimes committed in the White House. That was a great dividing moment, I think, in American politics. That's the moment where we all stopped trusting each other.
It's up there.
Because Vietnam was wrapped up in that too. People were dying for political expediency rather than a cause they believed in.
Yeah.
Yep.
But as a kid, even with all that, we didn't talk about politics as much. We stuck with safe subjects. Like, back then it was like, you talk about religion at the dinner table or trying to guess which family member was gay, back when it mattered, Politics used to be something we thought about every 4 years, maybe 2 years if you didn't have a lot of social life, you cared about the midterm elections. And that's good that we didn't think about it that much because it left room in our lives for other things and for other people. I'm from a big family. Jimmy, Eddie, Mary, Billy, Margot, Tommy, Jay, Peter, Paul, and Stephen.
And Steven.
And Steve.
My mother was born 2 days before women could vote the first time in a presidential election. And again, we don't know what's going to happen, but I was thinking this was going to be the time that she got what she wanted. She told me at age 92, short before she died, oh, I think I would vote for Hillary this time. It's time. She only voted for one Democrat in her entire life. That was Kennedy. Because, spoiler alert, we're Catholic.
Oh, Kennedy?
Spoiler alert,
Kennedy.
Politics
Kennedy
is a lot of
was an
horse
alright
race, and
Kennedy
horse
guy.
race is gambling. And gambling is, according to the Bible, a sin. Because it itself is a poison. Worrying about winning and not what the consequences of winning is. And I think the people who designed our democracy didn't want us in it all the time. Informed, yes. Politicking all the time? I don't think so. Not divided that way. They designed an election that was meant to confuse us and bore us a little bit. That's why the Electoral College exists and C-SPAN. And why the State of the Union begins with 20 minutes of shaking hands with grandpas. But now politics is everywhere, and that takes up precious brain space we could be using to remember all the things we actually have in common. So whether your side won or lost, we don't have to do this shit for a while. So,
I'm glad.
Damn right.
There's just been so much muck throwing this year.
Oh, it's been bad.
so keep your American flag up. But you
Don't
can
burn
take
it.
off your American flag hat. You can put away your I voted stickers, and you can get back to your life. And I'd like to try to end this election season right now by voting unanimously on a few things that all bring us together. And fair warning, some of these are silly. But in the face of something that might strike you as horrible, I think laughter is the best medicine. You cannot laugh and be afraid at the same time. And the devil cannot stand mockery.
Not necessarily
So
true.
here's some things Americans don't fight about. Here's one thing Americans can all agree on. When you agree on something, do you shout yes?
I mean,
Of
they
course
do.
you do. Here's another. No matter where you stand on
actually
Hillary's
do.
private server, every American agrees work email sucks.
Yes.
Also,
true.
no matter what your age, race, or political party, every American would agree that Kit Kats should be eaten in segments, not bitten into like a normal candy bar, you animal.
Let's not get hasty. Let's not get hasty here.
Okay, I've done it both ways, and I agree. It has to be
Red-blooded
sectioned.
American knows that if you're ordering a bunch of pizzas, there's no reason to get a veggie one. No one's going to eat it. For Christ's sake, plain cheese is veggie.
Yep.
And all of us, I believe that all of us,
I say this knowing a
from
bunch of
Portland,
vegetarians.
Maine to Portland,
true.
Oregon, know that there are too many Portlands. They
Yep.
need to be numbered. Oregon, you're Portland number 2 now. If you make a living pranking people on YouTube, all Americans ask that you walk slowly into the ocean, then put that on Snapchat. And as
I can get behind that.
Americans,
I can too.
there are things we will never forget, but none of us will ever remember what the War of 1812 was about. Were we mad at Canada or
remember.
something? I don't know.
There you
For
go.
it was Martin Luther King who reminded us to judge people not by the color of their skin,
But by the
but whether
content?
they reply all on mass emails.
Yep. Yep.
Americans know Alex Trebek will never die, and if he does, it won't count because it was not in the form of a question.
Yep. That's pretty funny.
Real Americans believe that low gas light on your dashboard is not a warning, but a challenge to see how far we can get on
Yeah.
whatever amount of gas is
Yeah,
left
it's
in
true.
the
I've been
goddamn
there.
tank.
You're damn
I say
right.
we're making it to Tulsa. We stand united in our knowledge that the biggest selling point of Cool Whip isn't the taste, but the fact that it's free Tupperware.
Yep.
It's
It
time to
is.
set
Yep.
aside our differences and agree that we will pay extra for guac. It's nice to get a real card in the mail once in a while, and the first person to get up for seconds at a wedding buffet is a goddamn hero.
There you go.
Above all, everybody up!
Yes.
Everybody up!
It's a goddamn hero. Oh, Nate's.
my country teaches
Nate's
me.
standing.
And above all,
Oh, here we go.
we as a nation agree that we should never, ever have another election like this one. Do you agree?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Now, please, get out there, kiss a Democrat, go hug a Republican, give a libertarian a reach around. I don't care. The election is over. You survived. Good night, and may God bless America.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Give a libertarian.
Reach around is pretty funny. First person to get. No. You're an anarchist, not a libertarian.
It falls under libertarian.
I
It
don't
does.
care.
It
No,
does.
we're getting specific here.
Fine. I own myself. I don't want your reach arounds.
There you go.
There you go.
That
He'll
seems
do
like
it
a vi-
himself.
That
That's
seems like a
right.
violation of the non-aggression principle. The first person to get up
DIY.
for seconds at a
At
wedding
that was
buffet
pretty
is a
funny.
goddamn
Damn
hero.
hero. He's a
It's
damn
true.
hero.
It's true.
I did. Heck, I
Yeah.
had a wedding where my cousin, and honestly, they had these little pigs in a blanket, like little miniature ones.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a full thing of them, and they were just sitting there, and the tray was sitting there open, and they
And
were
you're
getting
just
cold,
like-
and I'm like,
No.
and no one else is standing up. No one else is. I'm like, okay, you know what? Skip this. I stand up, and as soon as I stand up,
3 or 4 other people do.
yeah, like 3 or 4 people other. Well, at first I get like looks, like people are like.
Like that guy.
Like
He's
what?
doing it.
And I walk up there, and as soon as I start walking up there, I all of a sudden hear like I hear like someone's hand slam down on a dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like I've decided, damn it, whack, and
Yep.
he stands up. He's like, all right,
I kind of want the little all-star go, Rufio, Rufio. And you just like crow and like run up there.
yeah. And next thing you know, you hear the Chariots of Fire theme in the background. Dun, da, 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 da,
Yep,
da.
there you go.
And like shoveling those pigs in a blanket onto my plate, and the little also they had these little ham sandwiches there. Absolutely, where the bread was thin cut, and they had ones with cheese. They had ones with cheese, ones with lettuce. They were really good.
Yeah.
really good. And no one else wanted to get up and get them. And I was just like, you know what? Damn it, to hell with this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, look,
I'm hungry.
somebody's got to make the move.
I'm hungry.
Somebody's got to make the move.
I was going to say, just because the bride spent the last 6 months not eating anything so she could fit in a size 0 dress,
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. That doesn't mean I have to conform to that, too. She can eat now, too. Though the big part has passed. You are now able to eat whatever the hell you want. I mean, honestly, you don't have to look pristine anymore.
Not making that joke. Yeah, so let's not get hasty about the Kit Kats, though. Whoa now, everybody.
Okay, actually,
let's be careful.
I've eaten them both ways, and I personally believe he's right. You need to. I split them before I eat them now.
Oh,
I don't.
I do too, but you know, it's a candy bar. Let's not get overly concerned about it.
I don't know. It's pretty serious.
Yeah.
There's something like that. I cannot recall, but there's something like that that I am steadfast about doing. It's something kind of seemingly
Is it
unimportant
Reese
like that.
cups?
No. Although I am enraged by like that little piece that sticks to the Reese cup.
Oh.
No. You know how you fix that? Freeze them.
Yes. Freeze them.
That's exhausting, and then it's cold.
Well, honestly,
See, I like them better frozen anyway, and they come off clean.
they do.
Yeah.
But actually, Micah,
Satisfies my OCD.
Micah, you know what? You know what I used to do? You know what my Reese cup religious thing was?
Mhm.
Like I would always get it off the wrap or get it off the wrapper, and then I would I'd lick the bottom. If part of it stuck on the bottom, I'd lick that off there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd nibble around the edges. I'd nibble around the edges and take off and like get all the little flares
ridges,
ridges that were sticking out. And I was just like, and then after I was done with that, I'd split it, and then I'd eat one half and then the other. And it was always the biggest half that I would always put in first, no matter which side split off.
That sounds exhausting. How did you not get it all over your hands?
Yeah, see, that's my problem. So it's
I did it fast. I got good at it. I was like real fast. I was like,
So, I mean, what I always do is, now I freeze mine, so they come off clean, which is
well, there you
so nice.
go.
Seriously, you have no idea how much the little things will satisfy my OCD.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what it is. So, you pull off the wrapper appropriately. And then, see, I just slam it because it's like, it's cold, it's not going to get on my hands, and by God, I'm going to make sure it doesn't. Doesn't get in your teeth.
No.
It's just, there you go. You get the flavor. You don't get the mess. Perfect. And you don't have to eat both of them at the same time. You can just leave that other one in there in the wrapper, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
We had a break room at work that was subsequently taken over to put in offices. Those offices, as far as I know, have still yet to appear. This was a year ago. There was a fridge in there, and they were taking the fridge out. So they said, if you've got anything in the fridge, you need to pull it out. And then I got to thinking, it's like, wait a minute. So I walked down there, and 2 weeks ago, from that point, I had put in Reese cups. Still in there. And I was like, yes, I will enjoy this. For this is delicious bounty given to me from the promised land of the break room refrigerator. It's like finding buried treasure. That's exactly what it is.
I could see that.
Like Halloween, you get a bunch of the little individually wrapped ones and you just stash them.
Yeah.
Later, you're like, man, I want some chocolate. And then you just reach in there and you're like, oh, so good.
Oh, man.
Fine moments in my life.
Yes, indeed.
I am a sad little man.
No,
Anyway.
you're not.
But yeah, no, I thought, I saw that the day after the election.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, we need to react to this. People need to see this if they haven't already.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I am personally of the belief that, voting is a major part of the problem. Our governmental system is a major part of the problem.
Yeah.
But, there is something to remember. We're all in this together. Until we can figure out a way to get out. Would you agree with that, Micah?
No, I'm in this for me.
No, there you go.
Until you can figure out a way to get out of this, the whole rest of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just...
And
I respect other people.
Well,
yeah,
there you
and
go.
B,
But
we're all people.
I only control my attitudes and my actions, no one else's.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
we're all people.
Yeah, we're all individuals.
Screw red and blue.
Well, politics intrinsically is a participation in this bogus agreement whereby you elect people to try and control other people's actions and attitudes. So,
Which is why I
Is
didn't vote.
inherently unethical.
I didn't vote. You didn't vote. Nate?
I can neither confirm nor deny whether I did or did not vote. It's all a blur.
Okay. But yeah, no, we're all people.
Yeah.
Screw this Republican and Democrat bullshit. Screw comment section wars. Because those happen. I know they do.
Well,
I've been waiting for people to start one in this so that Nate can put it down.
well, okay.
Has it happened?
It actually happened in the ERB.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
because
not surprised.
because people were like, oh, they're clearly Trump supporters.
Oh, they're clearly Clinton
Hillary
supporters.
No!
No!
We hate both of them equally.
Shut up and quit it. Quit with the nonsense.
So-
I replied to a few comments, but my attention span only lasts for a couple days before it just gets too low
Oh.
in the feed, and I don't
Yeah.
Me.
I don't get notifications. So
Don't get notifications.
Yep.
Yeah, Nate sees everything.
I
Nate
get
has to put up with
everything. I get
all of them.
everything. And people just keep coming up and saying, it's like people watch that video. It's like, huh, you fuckers were wrong. He won. I'm like, I don't care.
We were speaking first off specifically in the context of the rap battle, because that's what we do.
Yes, it is.
And secondly, we don't have to like them to pick them
No,
because I didn't like either of them.
I didn't either. I
Um,
mean, one's an egomaniac, and the other is,
An egomaniac.
yeah, actually, yeah, both are egomaniacs.
and both are criminals.
Yep.
So, yeah, American politics, everybody.
Yeah, so let's just stop the hate and get back to something, more interesting, like video games or
Yeah.
I don't know, just can we just like shut down CNN and Fox News and MSNBC and all of that bullshit?
Well,
Can we do that?
well, honestly, no. I don't want to deny, part of the First Amendment, right to pretty much right to news,
Yeah.
right to report the news.
No, right to news is one thing, but I think we also have a right to unbiased news.
That's what I want as well. You see, one thing that happened, it happened in the mid '60s. How it used to be, the respectable names of Walter Cronkite and all this and all that.
Yeah.
Who reported unbiased news, whether it was on the left or the right or whether it was good or bad, he told it like it was. And then all of a sudden, the money starts rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
And everything just gets lost in it.
Yep.
Everything just gets lost in the greed. And don't get me wrong, there's still some good news. That's why I don't tune into any of the big news outlets.
Yep.
Skip NBC, skip ABC, skip MSNBC,
Skip Fox.
skip CBS, skip Fox, skip all of them. I get my stuff unbiased and truthful as close as it can be on the internet. I tune into a lot of different things, and I was gonna say there's one person who reports the facts, and he doesn't care. He leans a little bit more to the right than most, but honestly, he reports the facts. He states this out unbiased, and he hates both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. He didn't vote either. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, he's a libertarian, and he is fully against, he hates the idea of this election going the path that it's gone. You see, he said it was pretty much a gigantic pissing contest. It was just about who had the bigger dick, pretty much. And he's unbiased in every way. You see, whenever I tune into MSNBC, it's so much bias. When you tune into Fox News, so much bias. Ben Shapiro, you get the sense that he has his values, he has his moral center, but he doesn't try and force that on others. He doesn't try and push his agenda on others. He just reports the facts and says, "I don't care what you want to be. Heck, you can be a gender neutral Apache attack helicopter. I don't care. I just want you to be aware of the facts and the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm here for, and that is all I will ever do." And it's cost him several jobs because Breitbart, which is now extreme alt-right to some degree,
Mm-hmm.
Ben Shapiro was senior editor of that, and he quit. He quit because he saw where it was going. And if Andrew Breitbart, the original head of Breitbart News, was still alive, he'd smack every member of the staff in the face and just this is not what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. But anyway, I've ranted enough. Ugh.
Micah, thoughts?
Bias is fine. I mean, everyone naturally has inclinations they lean towards, and they constantly seek out confirmation bias because there's too much information to know all the facts for everything. So it's perfectly normal, and there's always a market for bias. As long as everything is voluntary, it's okay. It doesn't matter if there's biased news. It just happens to be the fact that they're talking about people who are a political aristocracy in a game designed to control people, which is highly unethical.
Yep.
And essentially, I mean, it's the same people. I mean, most politicians have a near 90% reelection rate, pensions for life. They're a completely other class of people. They have their own health care.
Nate
talked about
Nate
that.
and I were talking about this that night. Yeah.
It really is. It's just a game of rhetoric to pit people against each other as a distraction, because they don't care about you. They do the same things. They campaign on soft issues they have no control over, and they all do the same things. None of them address monetary and fiscal policy, literally the inflation that is choking every aspect of your life, because how do you interact with people? Well, it's probably with money, which they have made it illegal to really, buy and sell with anything other than the fiat currency they provide you. So literally all these politicians are completely short-sighted and useless because the elected ones can't actually do anything. The majority of departments that control your life, they're appointed. It's a completely different class of people that doesn't care about you, and everything that you divide yourself along, you have no control of because you don't own other people and you can't change their actions or attitudes. It's all just a moot point.
Well, I think. Ben Shapiro said this, and I like what he said about it. It's relative to what you're saying, Micah. They don't care about you. It's like, where's Hillary Clinton every other day before the election in the inner cities? And hell, where's Donald Trump? Where was Donald Trump every single day before he started to go out to the rural areas? I mean, they only care about you around election time.
Yep.
That's the only time. They only care enough to even mention where, something near you or even be within the same vicinity as you.
It's a power ploy. It's they want to manufacture your consent, because when you consent, you participate in a rigged system, but you participate knowing that you can lose, and honestly knowing that you really can't affect anything. But by giving your consent, it allows them to pass off their views as yours. And that becomes particularly dangerous when they spend $600 billion plus a year on a military that's in over 150 countries. Literally the bully on the playground of the world.
Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up.
I know Micah could go forever on
Yep,
this.
and this went a little different direction than I was sort of hoping. I was sort of hoping for, more of a feel-good type of thing. Anyway.
Well,
yeah, so thank you all for watching this. It's over. We can stop hating everybody else now. So, bye, guys.